If you guys would like to see how to make this, then please stay tuned. So for the marinade of this beer chicken, I used half a can of Bud Light. You can use any beer you like. I kind of like Bud Light, that's why I used it. Some minced onion, some steak seasoning, some garlic roasted and herbs, some Creole seasoning, some chili powder, and some ground cumin. And I'm soaking it in this for 24 hours, and I'll show you guys what the chicken looks like right now. Here's what the chicken looks like after marinating for 24 hours, and what I'm going to do is cook this at 250 for about 2 or 3 hours, just depending on until it's done. And then I might bump up the heat, but I'm going to try to leave it low and slow because I like soft, tender chicken. So this is what this looks like. After I throw it in the oven at 250 for a couple hours, I'll show you guys what it looks like. But you see all this extra stuff? I'm going to make vegetables and potatoes using this liquid to be able to save it up, and that way it has a bunch of flavor and everything. Alright, so I put some olive oil down on the pan, and I laid the chicken on top, and I put the oven at 200, and I'm going to cook this for at least 2 to 3 hours. Here's my leftover liquid that I'm going to cook the potatoes in. But yeah, I'm just showing you guys what I'm doing as I'm doing it. Here I chopped up 4 large russet potatoes. I'm just going to have them soak in the liquid, as you can see. Yeah, I'm feeding 5 people, so I hope that this will be enough, and then I'm going to make another side dish as well. But I've got the chicken in here cooking. It's going to be a while till that's done. But yeah, that's what I've got so far. I'm going to let these sit for a couple hours while the chicken's cooking. These are probably going to take about 45 minutes, so last 45 minutes I'll cook the potatoes. The side dish I'm adding to this is green bean casserole. I've got 3 cans of green beans, 2 cans of cream of mushroom, and then a bag of stuffing to pour on top. That way it gets a nice crisp 350 for like 45 minutes, and that's one of the other side dishes. I added the stuffing as well as I chopped up some butter and put it over the top, and that's how it's going to be. And I'm just going to let it cook. That way then when it cooks, the top gets nice and buttery, but the bottom gets nice and soft where the green beans and stuff are. You can see them barely here on the edge. But yeah, once all the food is done, I'll show you all at once. And the next step, I will get to the potatoes. Again, I'll show you guys that when I get to it. Here's how the chicken is starting to look. I'm going to say another 30 minutes or so though. I'm going to get started on the potatoes. To a hot pan, I'm adding olive oil, and here's the potatoes. I'm going to add those in, cook them about halfway, maybe 3/4 of the way. Then I got this to add to it as well. These are just cheap frozen vegetables. Mix it all together, and yeah, I'll show you guys once it's cooking. It's just straight into the pan before cooking, but as you can see, it's been sitting in that marinade, so yeah, that's what it looks like right now. To the potatoes, I'm also adding some salt, pepper, cumin, and paprika. Yeah, just gonna show you guys that. Once these are about halfway done, I'm gonna throw in these. I'm also adding some more of this as well to the potatoes, then I'm gonna mix that up. Chicken in the casserole, I kicked the heat up to 300, that way that the chicken can get a nice crisp and finish cooking all the way, but as you can see right here, it's almost done, but not completely done. But yeah, that casserole's gonna take a while, so I'm just gonna leave everything to cook for about another 30 minutes at least. The edges here, you can see the beer batter starting to thicken a little bit, so I'm hoping that that fully cooks the potatoes, and as you can see, it's already starting to. So yeah, I'm just gonna let these cook, and this has only been on here for about 5 minutes, so it's gonna be a while. This is a few more minutes in, and I added the vegetables, as you can see, so that way they can get a nice coating as well. And yeah, that needs to cook for a lot longer, but just showing you guys. I added some waters to the potato mix to make sure it's like a nice, it's got like a gravy on it almost, as you can see. So yeah, that's got to cook quite a bit longer, but I figured I'd show you guys that. The chicken is done cooking. It cooked for like 3 hours. Here's what it looks like. Put it at 250, then bumped it up to 300, and I added the extra chicken fat that was on the pan to these potatoes. Kind of hard to stir one-handed, but that way I don't have to add butter. But it adds the fat and it makes it nice and oily, because that's how potatoes should be. But yeah, here's what the potatoes are looking like. Green bean casserole still cooking, but there's the chicken. There's the potatoes.